Hi and welcome to Distilling in Australia. My name is Nick and today I want to talk to you about the power of comparison. This is going to be important because the next video I'm going to do after this one is in relation to the markets that I've just done. This is sort of a precursor to that. But before we get started into this video, as always, here is 5 seconds of your life you'll never get back. Okay, so I was having issues with my fermentation and distillation. And if you watch this program, you go back and you'll see in previous videos that the quality of the neutral spirit that I was getting out of my still wasn't what I was hoping for. It was well, to put it in the words of Tamika, a bit metallic tasting. So I was struggling a bit and I was a bit disappointed, a lot disappointed, and I was trying to work out what I was doing wrong. I spoke to my yeast people and did a lot of research and reading, and I was following the process that I'd had learned through various aspects. I've got a book on alcohol and all those sorts of issues, and I was going through the whole scenario trying to work out what I was doing wrong. And I was actually fortunate enough that someone that I'm associated with decided to send me up a bottle of alcohol. Now, this is the bottle, and what it is, it's actually from a company called Manildra Group, so Manildra, M-A-N-I-L-D-R group of companies. Now, this is a 96% ethanol, which they refer to as extra neutral ethanol, or ENA. Now, by all accounts, and remember, I do try and get the right information out when I do these videos, but I can't verify some of this information. So if I'm wrong, by all means, put it in the comments. I'm happy to be corrected, because remember, you're learning from my mistakes if you've been watching this series. So by all accounts, this ethanol is pretty much the gold standard when it comes to alcohol, ethanol for the distilling industry. Now, I believe that this particular company supplies somewhere around the 80 to 90% of all distilleries on the east coast of Australia. And that's how good this product is. So this was sent to me and I tasted it, and instantly I knew that my product wasn't up to standard. It was totally not up to standard. And so through a process of trial and error, what I worked out was that in my particular still, when I'm taking it off, it runs at about 92, 93%. And then the general rule of thumb is when it's sort of getting into 89% on a reflux still, you're starting to get into the tails. And it doesn't actually work that way on my still. Now, I run my still at 1500 watts when I'm taking off the ethanol. So it's not running it hard. And what I learnt is that I had to be far more aggressive in my cuts when taking the distillate off. So what I've managed to do is get the quality of the distillate that I make. Now, I'm talking purely here taste. I'm not talking about chemical composition, because I don't have the resources or the money to get my particular ethanol chemically tested. And I'm sure that on a chemical level, this is a far superior product. But on a taste level, I can get my distillate out of my humble 120 litre 6-plate 4-inch column still to taste as good as this. And that's purely taste. Now, yes, you probably think, well, I'm biased. And so what I do, and my wife hates me, But what I do is I actually, when I'm running a batch, I'll take a small sample off of this and of mine, and I water them both down to 40%, and then I give them to my wife. Now, my wife hates neutral spirit. And you say, well, why are you giving it to your wife? She hates neutral spirit. Well, it's actually a good exercise because it's a matter of the spirit she dislikes the least, if that makes sense. So I give it to my wife and I say, okay, here's the two samples, taste both of them and let me know which one you dislike the least. And most times now she'll say, well, I really can't, in terms of taste, I can't tell the difference. Now I can. Obviously I can tell the difference because this is wheat-based and mine is sugar-based, so I know instantly the difference between them. But she can't actually taste the difference between the two. And most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, she finds that what I produce is less harsh than this one, okay? That's an opinion, okay? So someone who doesn't like neutral spirits. And so being able to compare what comes out of my still with this has been a godsend. So if you are new at distilling, or you're having troubles with your distillation and you're sort of not quite happy with your neutral product that you're getting out of your still, try and get your hands on a bottle of this Melandra ENA and use that as a point of comparison. So if you can get close to or as good as this, you've got yourself a good product. And so to the person who gave this to me, I cannot thank you enough. It has been an absolute godsend to have this point of comparison. So that's what I wanted to say today in this particular video. It's a relatively short video, but if you're, it's all about trial and errors, and my cuts now are incredibly tight or harsh, I suppose you'd call it. Out of 120 litre run, I'm probably getting around about 9 litres of usable ethanol. So that's sort of, I'm working on around about 7-8% of usable ethanol out of a 120 litre batch. So, it's not a lot, but what comes out is good. And I'm very happy with the product as it is now. So anyway, that's it for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed it. The next video I'm going to do is about the markets, which I've just spent a week doing, and I'm still recovering. It was a big week, 3 markets in 1 week, so, and all finishing at 10 o'clock. I didn't get home until after 10 o'clock at night each night. So that's the next video. I'm hoping to do that over the next few days. Anyway, that's all. I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now. Stay safe. Happy distilling. Distilling alcohol is illegal in Australia unless you hold the appropriate licenses and permits. I am not a lawyer, and the contents of this video are not intended to be legal advice. Do not rely on any information contained in this video and seek your own legal professional advice before making any decisions. Be aware, the Australian Tax Office and the local law enforcement agencies will be taking interest in this channel due to its content. Please keep this in mind before posting any comments. Any comments posted are the opinion of the person posting and not of this channel. Let's get started.